everyone! Today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a Q&A video. There are some questions that have come up either in the comment section below or from people reaching out on my website that I've either seen repeatedly or I just thought they were really great questions that were worth addressing. And I couldn't quite figure out how to put them into a build video, so I'm just going to make this video that just addresses all the questions that I thought might be interesting or helpful to the rest of you out there. So let's get started. The first question that came up recently was from a gentleman who is about to order his emp kit for his RV-10, and he asked, why did we buy our wing kit in July when we weren't done with the emp kit, when we weren't ready to start building right away, it wasn't finished? And the very simple answer for this is that there is a lead time with vans between when you order your kit and when it actually is going to arrive. And right now, that is 12 to 13 weeks. I just called again to check with them today, and it is about 10 weeks between when you order your kit and then when they will reach out to you to schedule a crating day and go over all the final details and payment. And then it's 1 to 2 weeks for them to actually crate the kit, and then about another week before it'll actually arrive when it's shipped. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're going through your kit, when you're finishing up one and ready to move on to the other, is to just keep in mind about how long it might take. Contact vans to reach out and see if anything's changed. I have heard that sometimes around Oshkosh and Sun and Fun, it might take a little bit longer because they have a few more sales. But just kind of keep it in mind, and I think it depends too a little bit on what it is that you're hoping to accomplish. What I mean is, did you want to have a break between doing the tail cone and doing the wings or doing the fuselage? Or did you want to be able to keep on moving? We just wanted to keep on moving. We didn't want to have any lag time where we were just sitting around and waiting for the kit to show up. We had the space for it. And again, looking at our logbook, we keep track of all the different days and the work that we do and kind of can figure out about how much we can get done in a week. And had just thought, okay, well, this is about right, about 3 months out for us to order it. And so that's why we went ahead and ordered it in July. It did come a little bit before we were ready to start working on it. But again, we figured we'd rather have it and then be ready to move on as soon as we finished everything with the empennage, instead of having to sit around and wait for it to show up. So that's the answer for that question. Just keep in mind the lead time that you might need for whatever your next kit is. Another thing that I was asked is to try and put links for the different tools that I talk about in the descriptions for my videos. And so I'm going to try and do a better job of that. But one of the tools that has come up multiple times repeatedly is the Cleco gun, the pneumatic Cleco gun that we use. That is from Pan American Tool. I will put the link in the description below. They have two different styles. There's one that's more of a like a wand, similar to a stick blender that you might have in your kitchen. And then there's the pistol grip, and we just opted to go for the pistol grip because it seemed just more of a natural feel, natural movement. So, but that's where we got it, Pan American Tool. Another thing that I get asked about a lot is our Workbench. And no, this is not the Workbench from the EAA website. I wanted to make a Workbench that was going to really work well for us. Knowing that the two of us were going to be out here working on it all the time, I wanted to make sure that we had enough space to not be in each other's way. So kind of looked at, all right, here we're sitting next to each other, think about arm span, wingspan, what kind of space we'd want to not be in each other's way. And the EAA table, I think, is about 5 feet long is what they suggest, and ours is 7. Just because knowing we're going to be working together, I didn't want us to be in each other's way and getting on each other's nerves, because again, you want to do everything you can to make this an enjoyable experience. The other thing is I wanted to make sure to control the height of the table. I have had back surgery, and so if it's too short and I'm having to sit there and kind of like hunch over a little bit to reach whatever it is I'm doing, that's gonna kill me. That's just gonna really hurt my back. And I just wanted to make sure to kind of test and figure out what kind of a counter height would work really well for me to be able to stand there and again work comfortably for an extended period of time without having any problems with my back. The other reason we did it custom is I saw a video on YouTube from another gentleman that I will link below, and he made a table where the legs fold up, but he also made his own little rig to go onto the wall where you could then fold the table up against the wall and then latch it to store it vertically there flat against the wall. And I thought that was a really great idea. We haven't ever gotten to the point where I've needed to build the mounting system to latch it onto the wall, but it has already come in really handy with having the fold up legs. I wanted to make sure that we had a way to move this table and get rid of it if we needed to reclaim the 2-car garage for the 2 cars. We live in Houston. We get hurricanes. I didn't want to have to worry about leaving the cars out if a hurricane was barreling down on us. We actually had recently a hail warning, and same thing, didn't want the cars to get pelted by hail. So broke everything down, folded up the table, and it was just really nice to have something with such a small footprint that was easy to store in the 1-car garage and didn't take up a lot of space, so we could really fit everything in there very well. So that's just it. I wanted to make it more custom for us, for comfort. Again, anything that's going to make this more enjoyable of an experience, I think is a bonus. It's a plus. You don't want to be miserable. You're not really going to want to work on it if you're uncomfortable and unhappy. On that note, another thing we have in the garage, people ask about kind of what's the setup in their workspace, of what kind of a setup we have. We have a portable air conditioner and heater. It's all in one that we have here in the garage. Again, it's Houston. It's hot and sticky most of the year. And when I was putting the workbench together, we didn't have the air conditioning unit yet, and it was hot. I had the garage door open, I had the fans on, and just frying out here, melting out here, and just very uncomfortable. And that's what made us think, we're gonna be out here for a lot of time working on building this plane. Bought a little portable unit. We happen to have a couple windows here in the garage, and it's one that you could hook up to one of the windows. It's worked really great. It's not gonna get it as cold as, say, the inside of your house, but it certainly makes it a lot more comfortable, and then we use another fan to just help circulate the air. It's made it really nice in the summers and the rest of the year when it's really hot out here in Texas. But having the heater is also nice because we've had a couple nights when it's dropped down pretty low. And again, we're able to spend several hours out here working comfortably. So that just fits in with the make it something where you're comfortable and you're gonna enjoy working on the plane. The last little thing that I get asked about is the little stools that we use and roll around on in the video. Those are nothing special. They're something I just saw at Costco and purchased, and they've worked out really well. A lot of the work I think is good to do standing, just more comfortable for me personally, but it is really nice to have the stools to sit on when sometimes you want to be like at eye level with whatever it is that you're working on, or like when I'm sitting there measuring a piece and I have to get like these really detailed tiny measurements drawn onto it. It's nice for me to be like sitting there close to it. It's also been helpful when, for example, we did the tail cone and had to have it flipped upside down to do all of the riveting, and I'm sitting inside of it to have the stool to sit on instead of having to kneel down and just sit on the floor. That just worked out really nicely. It's also great just as an extra little surface so we can wheel around. Sometimes you might see we'll put the basket of Clecos on it and wheel it around as we're doing stuff, just if we don't want to have it on the workbench. But again, it's nothing fancy. Let's see, the brand is Mycanic if you really want to look it up and get that one. But it's just a great little stool we happen to get, and it's worked out really nicely for us. If you have any other questions that you'd like me to answer, you think something I missed, please feel free to reach out to me either privately on my website, plainlady.com, or leave me a message down below in the comments and I'll try to get to those questions as soon as I can. If you're thinking of building your own RV and have found these videos to be really helpful, please consider giving our builder ID listed in the description below to Vans as a referral when you purchase your empennage kit. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but they will send us a $100 thank you, and it lets me know that I've been able to help somebody out there with these videos. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and be sure to hit the little bell icon to make sure that you get notified anytime I post a new video.